Hi, Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today what we're going to do is we're going to take this little sack, and it comes three in a package from the Dollar Tree. The package looks like this. We're going to save this piece of cardboard here. We're going to put it inside the sack. We're only going to use one of them. I want to go ahead and cut the tag out because it's big, and I don't want that in there. Just my preference. So I'm going to put the cardboard in the sack so that when I do my stenciling, it doesn't go through to the other side. Not that it really matters too much anyway, since we're going to glue it down, but you know. And the stencil we'll be using today is Think Happy Thoughts, and it's from Magnolia. I will put my link in the description. And if you do decide to order anything, please use my links. I would appreciate it. I do get a little commission, and it does not cost you any extra. Now, I have this almond latte chalk paste, but I think I'm going to go with black. So let me get my black out. I was just looking on here, and part of this goes off of the heart, and you wouldn't be able to see it. So I have my squeegee here. I'm just going to get a little bit of chalk paste on it, and then I'm going to put it right onto my stencil, and I'm just spreading it onto it and getting it in the screen portion. And you do want to clean your stencils right away. Since I'm doing this, I won't be able to do it right away, but I do have a bowl of regular cool water from the spigot, and I will be putting my stencil face down in the water so that the chalk paste does not clog up the screen of my stencil. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Think Happy Thoughts. So I'm just going to set this aside to dry while we work on our other projects. Now the next thing I want to do is take my heart here that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I want to Mod Podge this piece of paper on it. Now this is scrapbook paper. It came from this package here that we've been working on for a lot of our Valentine decorations. And this is from the Paper Studio, and the name of it is Haberdashery. I did get it when it was 50% off. So I just have this wood heart cut out from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to take the hanger off, and you want to save your hanger because we're going to put it back on. So I'm just untying the knot, and then I'm going to set my jute aside. Okay, so I want to get my paper, my little cardboard paper here. I'm going to put my heart on it. Oh, and the stencil, oops, that we were working with is called Encouraging Words. And it's from Magnolia. And if you go to Liz Yonkey, and that's Yonkey, .magnoliadesignco.com, and you go to Encouraging Words Stencil, you will find this one, and there's 12 different little stencils in there. It is very versatile. You can use it on a lot of stuff. Okay, so what I want to do is take my Mod Podge, and I want to apply it generously to my heart. And you especially want to pay attention to the outer edges. And we're going to use our iron to attach the paper to the wood. And then we'll have to make sure that our hole is poked out in the paper so that we can get our hanger back in. Again, make sure you have plenty of Mod Podge on here because this wood does kind of soak it up a bit, and you want to make sure you have the edges covered generously. And I like to go ahead and use my iron on this paper anyway because it's really thick while my Mod Podge is wet. I think I get a better result that way. So I'm just going to line my paper up where I think I want it. Do it right here. Just going to press it down. And then when you first put your iron on it, you don't want to move your iron around because it will move your paper because it's still wet. The Mod Podge is still wet. So you want to just lay it on there and get the different areas of it. Then as it adheres to the wood, then you can start moving it around. And I just want to pull this paper out from under it, cardboard. Okay, now that it's adhered to it a bit, I'm going to move my iron around. Now you need to be careful because the paper does get hot. Okay, so now I just want to turn it over and turn around the edges of my heart. And then I'm going to check to see if there are any spots that didn't adhere. And if there are, then I will add more Mod Podge to it. And then iron over it again. And then I want to go around this center portion here a little bit better with my scissors, because when I go to do the sandpaper, it is a little bit more difficult to get that area. Okay, so I see a few wrinkles and I want to get those out. So I'm just going to take my iron over those spots, and I'll probably iron over the whole heart again. And so you want your iron to be on no steam, and you want it on the highest setting, which should be linen. And this is just a regular clothes iron. This is nothing special. Now, if you wanted to, you could certainly put a piece of parchment paper over top of your paper here, so that it doesn't, you know, do anything to your paper. I haven't had any issues with it, but you could also use a thin piece of material to put over it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and set this aside for a minute, and then we're going to continue on with these other two hearts. So this one here, it comes in a package from the Dollar Tree, and there's 8 in a package. And we're also going to do this one here, and it comes in 8 in a package from Dollar Tree. So I want to use this smaller brush on this open heart. I just feel like it gives me better control over my glue. So I'm basically dabbing it on. So not so much brushing it as dabbing it, because you do want quite a bit of Mod Podge on there. And I'm not going to do the whole thing of how I did this, but I will show you what I did do. It is a little time consuming when you get to start cutting the paper away from the hearts that are in the center. But I will show you what I did. But I won't make you watch me do the whole thing. But I will definitely give you enough information that you will know how to do it yourself. Now, I do have a group called Liz's Craft Friends. I would love for you to join that group. It is a closed group, but if you search for that group, Liz's Craft Friends, there's 2 questions you need to answer. And once you answer those questions, then I'll approve you for membership. Now, if you don't answer both questions, I'm not going to approve you for membership. So just make sure you answer both. And hopefully I'll approve you. If I see something fishy going on with your profile, then no, I won't approve you. But I've only disapproved the ones that didn't answer the questions. And there was one that was kind of fishy looking. Okay, so we have that one there covered, and now I'm going to use my bigger brush for this one here. And again, I just want to do the same thing. And go ahead and do this side of it. So I'm basically just tapping the brush on it. You get a thicker coverage of the Mod Podge. And I think it just makes it work a little bit better. Now, if you were using thinner paper, you probably wouldn't use as much Mod Podge. But this paper is pretty thick. I want to make sure that I get my edges and my arrow and all that. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I don't know why I wiped that off on there, but let's put this back in the container. Okay, and now I want to put my paper on here. And I don't have my paper out. Let me do that. Okay, well, it looks like I'm going to have to get a new piece of paper. Or I could use these here. So I'll just use these here, no problem. So I'm just going to lay this on there. I'm going to go ahead and cut this right here so it's easier to handle. And I'm just going to lay this right on top, right there. Now again, you just want to lay your iron on top of it to start out with until it adheres. Once it adheres, then you can move your iron around. Okay, so for now that looks okay. We're going to go ahead and go to the next part. Okay, I'm just going to put it right there. Again, laying my iron on top of it without moving it. It is on no steam on the highest setting, which is linen. Okay, now I'm going to take this off of here. I'm going to put these in the water and move this out of the way. And And then I just want to work on these a little bit. So now I'm moving my iron over top of the heart. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim this up a little bit. And I like to get pretty close in on the arrow portion of it because it is a little bit harder to get your sandpaper in there. So I'm just getting that a little bit closer with my scissors. And I want to do the same thing to the other end of the arrow and to the center of the heart here, where it's in a V shape. So right there. Okay, let me get this a little bit. Okay, so we got that one, and now I want to go ahead and get this one, so I'm going to iron it a little bit more. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to trim around it, getting close in the center where the V is. And then I'll show you how I cleaned it up. Okay, I'll put my board away, but I'm going to need it. Let's move the iron out of the way. Okay, so what I did was I took my X-Acto knife and I turned the heart upside down, and then I just went and traced it on the inside edge of the heart. And you can kind of just turn your wood piece there with your X-Acto knife, and it'll come out pretty good. Instead of you having to move your X-Acto knife, you can actually move the heart around. So here we have that heart right there. So now I'm going to show you how to do the other part. Same thing. And like I said, you can keep your X-Acto knife in the same place, and then you can just move your wooden heart around the X-Acto knife. It's almost like, you know, laser cutting. At times you probably will need to move your X-Acto knife. But again, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to show you the process of what I did do, just so you'll know how to do it. And I am applying pretty good pressure to the X-Acto knife. And if you cut a little bit of the wood, you're okay. So then this just peels out of here, and if you find some spots that are still left on there, then just take your X-Acto knife and go back over it. See that right there? Okay, and I just have this one little spot that I need to go back over. Right there. Okay. So here we go. Now I'm not going to go ahead and finish this because I don't want to waste your time with you watching me doing the same thing over and over. So then I just took my sandpaper block on the outside of the heart and did that. Let me show you the heart that I have finished. So this is what it looks like when you're finished with it. Okay, so this is the one we're going to use. And then this one here, basically, I just, you can just do the same thing. You can go around the arrow that's in the heart. So just like that. And then you can do the same thing with the back end part of the arrow. Okay, and for the rest of it, I just use my sanding block, or you can also use just a piece of sandpaper. I cut a strip of it off, cut that in half, and then folded it and went around the edges. So then you would have this one here once you get finished. So this is the one that we're going to use. Okay, so now what we want to do is take our sanding block to the big heart. And you know I like the sanding block look to my Mod Podging of my scrapbook paper. Might be time for a new sanding block. I'm just going around the edges instead of going down at an angle. This is a little bit quicker, and I don't mind the way that it looks since I go around the edges anyway. Okay, that looks pretty good except for right here. Okay, then I want to do the other side. See, I forgot my sign. So let me put that out there. Please do this if you like what we're doing here. I would appreciate it. And that's whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, whatever. I appreciate any support I can get, or all the support I get. Thank you so much. And if you do decide to order any products, please use my links, as I do get a commission and it doesn't cost you any extra. And that way then I can use the money that I get from that to buy more craft items so that I can keep doing these videos. Boy, this makes you work up a sweat. I'll go ahead and turn my iron off and set it aside. Okay. Well, we're almost done with this. We just need the top portion. Now you can also use regular sandpaper on this. You do not have to use a sanding block. And I like that this sanding block has this edge to it. It just makes it a little bit easier when you go to do the inside here of the V and the heart. Okay, let's see. Well, looks pretty good. Okay, so this is what we have for our heart. I just want to get this stuff out of the way, and then we'll put everything together. Okay, so we have this heart here. We have our pouch here. Let's see if it's dry. It's dry. So we can take this out. We don't need our sandpaper anymore. We don't need our X-Acto knife anymore. Now what we have is these two hearts here. And I want to use these markers to color in this. So I have this love and then these hearts. So I'm going to use red and pink. So these are Bic, it says Market Fine Point Permanent Markers. So this was a whole, it was a whole container of these permanent ink markers. And I do use them quite frequently. So the first thing I want to do is do the inside of this love in red. Now, if you don't have markers, you can use paint pens. You can use acrylic paint with paintbrush. I mean, just whatever you have, you can use. You don't have to use markers. So I'm just filling in the word love. And like I said, all these little hearts came in separate packages from the Dollar Tree, and there were 8 in a package. Getting out of the lines a little bit. Okay, so here's what we have for that one. Now, I'm going to have to use this here to poke this hole in our heart here so that we can run our hanger through there. So just put the hole back in there. Okay, now I want to use, I want to paint these here or fill these in. So the inside part I'm going to do in red, and here I have a pink marker in red, and then the outside edge I'm going to do in pink. Now I really like the colors of the names they gave the colors of this these pins. This one's Rambunctious Red, and this one is Fandango Pink. So they gave them cute little names. And I'm not sure where I got the markers. It could have been from Sam's Club, I don't know. So when you all watch this video, if you would, just say hi, so I know that, you know, someone's actually watching these and getting some use out of them. I would appreciate it. Oops, it just marked on myself. Okay, one more red heart to do, and then I'll do the outside in pink. And also we have Liz's Crafts. That's where this video is, and if you follow and like it, and then set your notifications, then you'll know when my videos go out there. So this is what we have so far for our red heart. Now I'm going to put the pink around the outside edge. And on Liz's Craft Friends, that's where if you do your crafts, you can post a picture of what you've done and put it out there. And we will ooh and ah and admire what you've done, and we can give each other ideas on, you know, different crafts to do. Okay, we're over halfway done with this outside edge. I'll show you what it looks like so far. It's looking nice and bright. Okay, we are done with that. So that's what we have. Now we can put all of this together. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my hanger back on. Let's see. How do I want to do this? I just want to put it through here. And then maybe do this. I'm not sure. I think that might be okay. I hope it's not too short. Okay, there we go. So what I did was I folded my jute in half, and I took it in from the back side and then put the ends through it and then tied a knot in the ends. So this is what we have for our hanger. And now we're going to put everything together. So the first thing we want to do is take these, and I've had this for quite a while. It's just called paper shred. Probably got it from, I don't know, Walmart, Dollar Tree. I really don't know. So I'm just going to take a handful of it, and I'm going to put it in my sack. And I'm doing this so that, you know, the sack will look full, and so that when I stick the sticks in for my heart, they'll have something to go into. I want to put a little bit more in because I want it pretty full. And it doesn't matter if some of it, you know, is coming out the top. That's cute. So let's put a little bit more in right there. Okay. So we're going to have this like this. But first I'm going to need to put the sticks onto my heart. So what I have is this floral wire, and this has been cut because I had used it on another project. So I'm just going to hot glue these onto the backs of my hearts. So I'm just going to make a line all the way down from the top to the bottom. And I chose the wire because you can bend it. You can bend it in different ways, and I just thought that would be good for when we put it in our sack. Okay, so we have one down. Let's do another one. Again, I'm putting a line of glue from the top to the bottom, putting my floral wire in it, and then pushing it down with this silicone face mask tool that I got from the Dollar Tree. Okay, so the second one is ready to go. Okay, let's get the next one. Now on this one, you want to make sure you don't put the glue in the holes. And yes, you can see the floral wire through the heart, but I'm okay with that. Okay, we have number 3, and then let's do the last one. Again, you want to stay clear of the holes, just putting it on the wood, and I'm okay with the wire showing through. If you don't like that, you may want to paint your wire, you know, to blend in with your hearts. It's just, you know, it's up to you. But this is what they look like. Aren't they cute? Okay, so the next thing I want to do is glue my sack onto my heart. And I want to glue it pretty far down at the bottom. And I'm also going to use some E6000 on it. So I'm going to put my E6000 on first, and then I'll put the hot glue on. Okay. So I'm just going to put a line of hot glue on this edge, a line on this edge, on the bottom, and then up here. Here and here. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on the E6000 because it does smell. Okay, so I'm just pressing this down so that it adheres the way it should. Okay, So this is what we have, and then we want to start putting our hearts in there. And this says, think happy thoughts. Yay, happy thoughts. Happy, happy. Happy, happy, happy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. And then when I get finished, I will take a picture of this and I will put it on Liz's Craft page and Liz's Craft Friends. Just kind of turn that one that way and turn this one this way. And then we'll have our love here. And then what I want to do is I want to pull my drawstring. Look at that. I think I'm going to tie it a little bit. And just put just a loose knot in it. And then I want to work with these and get them to where I want them to be, because I don't want them, you know, falling all over each other. So I think I like this right here. And then we'll just hang it on the wall. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments. So again, I'll take pictures of this and put it on Liz's Craft page and Liz's Craft Friends. Alrighty, well that's what I have for you today, and until the next time, keep crafting. Bye.